Good morning, Mr. Shinsky.
Good morning.
So I believe we left off last week. You were conducting an interview in the driveway with the defendant. Is that correct?
Yes.
And that was at the scene.
Yes.
And so is this common to do the interviews at the scene?
Yes. Normally we would drive up, meet with homeowners, and work right out of our vehicle and conduct interviews, everything right on that site.
And when you typically conduct these interviews, is it common for people to interrupt or come up to the car or come up to the scene?
Yeah, not unusual. Neighbors, people passing by, family members, will come up. Oh. Okay. And to have people walk up, curious people, things like that is not unusual at all.
So granted, this is just a few days after the fire that you're conducting this interview, correct?
Correct.
So you're saying that it's common for people to just be curious as to what happened and stop by?
Yes.
And you conducted an interview, I believe, on January 9th and one on January 10th. Is that correct?
Yes.
And I believe, I'm not sure where we left off, you had recorded those interviews?
Yes.
And then they were transcribed into an actual written transcript. Is that correct?
Yes.
And were you able to then check the accuracy of the recording against the transcript?
Yes, our clerical staff would type it, and then you listen to the transcript, read it all the way through. Any corrections or anything that need to be done are done so that it accurately matches what the recording has on it.
And you did that, and you checked it for correct accuracy?
Yes.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as people's proposed exhibit number 6. And if you could just flip through this for me and tell me if you recognize that.
Yeah, it appears to be the same.
And it's the same. Are there any corrections, deletions, or changes to it from when you originally provided the transcript?
Yes, there has been areas that have been blacked out.
And does it appear from just glancing through that many of those areas that are blacked out are some of those extra conversations?
Yes.
Conversations with those in the car as well as those approaching the car?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time I would move for people's exhibit number 6 to be admitted into evidence. I'm going to have you maintain that as we go through some of them and show them on the screen. As part of your interview with the defendant, did you have a drawing or like a floor plan done of the house?
Yes, it was done, I believe, by the end of the first interview, that first day. Ms. Stermer had appointments and had to leave, and then her daughter Brittany came to the site, and she's the one that actually provided a floor plan of the upper and lower floors.
And when you say the upper and lower, would that be the main level and the basement?
Yes.
And did the defendant have an opportunity to look at that floor plan?
Yeah, on the second day when I did my interview, a lot of that second interview was going through the floor plan, just with a general description of the building, what was in it, contents, items. Significant amount of the interview was pertaining to the layout and what was in the building.
And did she adopt that drawing that was done by her daughter as accurate?
Yeah, I believe she did.
Your Honor, at this time I believe defense counsel is stipulating to the admission of people's exhibit number 7, which is the floor plan and is 2 pages.
Yes, Your Honor.
People's Exhibit 7.
Thank you, Your Honor. And then permission to publish the jury. And again, this floor plan then was used throughout your conversations in the interviews conducted to use it as points of reference.
Yes.
Oh, and Your Honor, there's a copy for each juror. So I've stapled the first and second page together and made a copy for each juror. And I'm sorry, and this was something that you referred to then throughout the interview in terms of getting points of reference. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to have counsel then load up the transcript, and I'd like you to have it in front of you so that we can go through it together. I'm not going to have you read all of it, so I'll direct you then to what pages, since it is so lengthy. So I'm just going to have okay, this is the first page of the transcript, and this is just where you introduce yourself, and does it list out then the people that are attending?
Correct.
So I'm going to have you go to page 4 of the transcript. Counsel, can you do that, page 4 for me? At the top of the page, there's a J and there's an L. What does the J stand for?
The J is me, and the L would be Linda Stermer.
So the J is for your first name, Jim?
Yes.
Okay. And so I'm going to have you start at the top of that page and read then through that large paragraph. So start with the question that you asked at the top of the page and then read through her statement to you. And then just be mindful then of the redactions.
Yes.
Thank you.
The question is, okay, go ahead. If you want to just with Sunday morning or what was going on. Answer, Sunday morning I had got up and went down to the marathon and gotten some eggs and some breakfast meat and stuff to cook that morning. Filled up the blazer and then came home, started coffee, and Todd was still in bed at that point. He got up and I gave him the receipts for his medicines, prescriptions, and the last couple days' receipts that I had spent. He got very angry with me because I hadn't recorded them in his checkbook and told him about them sooner. And he was screaming at me about that I went downstairs and woke the boys up. I think it was probably 10 maybe, and the boys that they could go to the mall, and I gave them some money for lunch or breakfast if they wanted, and that Dad and I needed to talk about some things. I went back upstairs. I didn't remember if I started a load of laundry then or if it was a little bit later, but I went back upstairs. I made Todd some breakfast and told him I was going to send the boys to the mall, and then we could talk about everything. I was going to be going to my sister's to stay for a little bit, and so I made him breakfast, and he took his medicines. We really didn't discuss all that much more. And he sat down, watched some hunting program in the living room. I did some laundry and some dishes, and came back upstairs and had to read the instruction booklet for my son is on special prescription that you have to enroll on the computer and answer questions, and that I guess monthly. So we were gonna get back his blood work, or going to get his blood work done on Monday. So wanted to get it all in the computer, end of it done on Sunday. I must have fallen asleep. I was laying on our bed reading the book. I took a little nap. And when I got up, Todd had asked me something to drink. I went to the kitchen and was loading the dishwasher and washing up his breakfast dishes, and I got some juice. And he took some medication, and I told him I was going downstairs to do some laundry, deleted section. So I restarted the laundry because I still needed, I restarted the laundry then because it smelled. So I restarted it, and then Todd was yelling at me, and then all of a sudden I heard him scream. Then I went running up the stairs, and there was fire from our bedroom to his recliner, and he was on fire. And the whole upper body, and his whole upper body, there was fire and smoke. I couldn't see him really well, and I just turned and ran out the door and jumped in the van because I didn't know how I would get anybody, except I would go over to Mike and Connie's, and I backed up, and then I seen Todd in the yard, and I got out to try to help him get the fire off of him. Before that, I heard something in the house, boom.
I'm going to have you go ahead and read the last two sentences on that page and then continue on to page 2.
Yeah. Now, in the morning, you ran and got breakfast stuff. About what time? Do you remember? Do you recall what time it was? Around 9 or so.
And if you could go to page 5 and read down then to where there is a J and it says O before the blacked out boxes. Yep, page 5, just start at the top.
You can start at the top of 5?
Start at the top of 5 and read down to the blacked out area.
Yep. The question, and then when you say you ran to the marathon, where's the marathon located at? Answer, in Lawrence. It's okay if I just use J or L or?
Yes, I think we've gone over what J and L stand for, okay. So if you I just say J and then her answer.
Yep, J in Lawrence. Everybody has their local stops, and we cover so much area that it's like, okay, now where's the marathon? And then filled up the truck. You were back home here, and now you're saying that Todd was taking medication. It looks like he, by the sound of it, had taken meds a couple of times. What type of medication was he taking? I mean, what kind of issues is he? He had some kind of an ear infection going on. He said that the doctor said that he was really swollen and draining really terrible. And he was feeling sick to his stomach, a lot from that.
I'll have you stop there. And if you could go down to then the last sentence on page 5 and just read that for the jury where it says J.
Oh, now when you say he was angry, I mean he was just yelling, grumbling, or was he?
I'll have you go to page 6 and start at the top.
L, he was screaming. We've been arguing quite a bit, and we were arguing over me leaving to go to my sister's, and?
I'll have you keep reading.
J, and this is just some other thing to trip another argument. L, just one more straw. J, now you say you went down to get the boys up. I think you said it was around 10. L, yay. J, then all 3 boys were here. L, mm-hmm. J, and then they did ultimately get up and leave. L, yeah, I told them that, we were going to be talking about a lot of things today. I told them that they were going to stay here and to go to school, and I was going to go to Aunt Kim's. I told them later on in the day that we would have to meet me so that I could get the blazer from them. And I told him I wasn't sure if I would be at Aunt Kim's when they left or not. And just two, we would talk and figure out where they were supposed to meet and bring the blazer to me, and then I'd bring them home.
I'll have you read the next two lines.
Do you normally drive the blazer? L, yeah.
I'm going to have you go then to page 7 and skip the first J and L, and then I'll have you start them with the third J and read those next two sections.
And then after getting the boys up?
Yes, yes, sir.
And then, after getting the boys up, they woke up, came up. Did you cook breakfast? L, no. I told them that I would give them some money to go out to eat because I just didn't know how much arguing or yelling Todd was going to want to do, and I don't like it in front of the boys. And he doesn't mind. So I just asked them if they would just go and that I would let Dad know that they were going. And
I'm going to have you stop there. I'm going to have you flip to page 9. And start the fourth section down where it says L, yeah. If you could read that.
yeah, I just don't like them to hear. That's L. Yeah, I don't just like them to hear all the stuff that he screams.
Wait a minute, I'm going to have you stop. Are you on page 9?
Yes.
Page 9, the fourth line down.
Oh, fourth line down.
Sorry, yes, thank you very much.
L, yeah, they didn't come up and talk to Todd because he was all angry, and J. Now, would that be normal for him this lately to be angry and the kids kind of avoiding him? L, well, he's been, yeah. J, how long has this been going on? L, well, I don't know. For this summer, it was a lot, and then it kind of tapered off, and then this winter, it has been quite a bit. I'm
going to have you stop, then go down 4, go to the J that says, now was Todd aware? And if you could read from there to the bottom of the page.
J, was Todd aware that you were going to go to your sister's and stay? L, we talked about that Saturday. J, and it's basically you just getting away from him. Was that his reaction on Saturday? L, well, we had a few different reactions. He wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to take the boys, and I told him that there was no way I could because, they had to stay in school, and, I wasn't going to uproot everyone because, move them all into my sister's. That would be just too much.